Hi, I'm Tom Campbell, the Dean of Chapman University School of Law, and I want to provide an end of the autumn semester 2011 report. We have such wonderful news, and let me start off with news about our students. First of all, in national competitions, we are standing up and beating the very best in the United States. In the Thomas Tang Moot Court competition, the Chapman School of Law teams came in third in the entire country, and in brief writing within that competition came in second. In the ABA, American Bar Association arbitration competition, our team just missed the finals by 1 point. We did superbly at the semifinals, but just missed making it to the finals by 1 point. And while these students are doing moot court and arbitration competitions, we also have students who are publishing, even as students, in superb journals. One of our recent graduates, I should say as well, just published in the ABA journal on the question of criminal fines in tax cases. Another one of our students, while still a student, is one of the 3 winners of the intellectual property section of the ABA award and will be publishing in the IP journal for scholarly work in intellectual property. And a third student will be publishing in the Journal of Veterans Affairs. Again, while they are students competing with other schools, as good as there are in America, we are as good as any in both academics and in presentation. In addition, the students run organizations that put on events here. We just had a very important event regarding food law, obesity, and the federal and state government role regarding obesity. We had another student group put on the Entertainment Law and Sports Law Society, bringing in the general counsels and representatives from the Lakers, from the Anaheim Ducks, and from the Angels, including, as it turns out, one of our own Chapman alums who is in the law department of the Ducks. So we are so well blessed by our student body in their energy, in their scholarship, in their enthusiasm. We have the most wonderful news to report on the results of the California bar exam, which just came out. Our Chapman students passed at a higher percentage than last year by almost 10 points more. We passed at just under 80%. And the statewide average, 55%. That's 24 percentage points higher than the state of California average. Better than the ABA school average in the state of California. It's the second highest performance we've ever had. We're so proud of our law students taking the bar, and we know that in years to come it's just going to continue to climb and do better. Our faculty, in addition to their tremendous scholarship, has done some very important work in the popular press. Most recently, Professor John Hall authored 2 pieces of great importance in the Asian Wall Street Journal regarding the International Criminal Court Tribunal in Cambodia. And as a result, we believe, of his writing, it may very well have been one of the principal investigators had to step down, and the United Nations International Crimes Tribunal is changing and attempting to approach the very serious question of prosecuting those responsible for the atrocities in the Khmer Rouge regime from a new perspective because of the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of the previous prosecutor. And Larry Rosenthal has filed a brief. It was recently in the Supreme Court's decision regarding the testimonial privilege for prosecutors regarding grand jury testimony. It's a great tribute to our law school that our professors are writing briefs in the Supreme Court of the United States and having them relied upon by decisions of the Supreme Court. And guessing just a little bit ahead now, the briefs haven't yet been filed, I assume that we're going to be seeing a substantial presence of Chapman University School of Law professors in the upcoming challenge and defense of President Obama's Health Care Act. In addition, our faculty are working with our staff and students on a conference this December featuring former Solicitor General of the United States, Walter Dellinger. Solicitor General Dellinger will be focusing on the famous case Mendez versus Westminster, which was tried and decided right here in Orange County long before Brown versus the Board of Education, and established in the context of racial discrimination against Hispanic Americans that the old doctrine, separate but equal, was no longer acceptable. Professor Dellinger will now be developing the similarity between these cases and pointing out how the Mendez case really was the precursor and created the opportunity for there to be a Brown versus the Board of Education. In January, we will be hosting a symposium on the lessons of Watergate. It's the 40th anniversary of the Watergate break-in. And at Chapman University School of Law, we have one of the prosecutors of the Watergate era, Professor Ron Rotunda. He will be speaking. In addition, John Dean will be a featured speaker. We will have a perspective analyzed of the lessons of Watergate for separation of powers, for executive privilege, for the rule of law. It will be an appropriate moment for us to visit the consequences of this time in our history and what they mean to the rule of law in our country even today. At Chapman School of Law, we provide our students with excellent training so that they can go out and represent clients in the world of law. And we also offer our students the chance to brand themselves a bit, if they choose to, with one particular emphasis in law. We have just announced a new emphasis program, the Business Law Emphasis. I think it's a very important time for this to be offered at Chapman School of Law. This Business Law Emphasis program will be advised by general counsels of many corporations right here in Orange County. I'm very happy to report that the general counsel of Callaway Golf, the general counsel of Newegg, the general counsel of Taco Bell, and a dozen other general counsels have agreed to serve on an advisory board. Our students interested in business will study the subjects that they need. We'll have new courses that can be taught by some of these general counsels so that the practical talents necessary to become effective in the business world will be learned by our students. And hopefully, and I believe very likely, to create new business opportunities for our students themselves. They will have a shot at getting employed directly by corporations, and if they choose to practice with a firm, to be ready to practice with clients on behalf of businesses and presenting with a knowledge of the business that a law student seldom has because they have had an introduction to these concepts while they're still in law school. I'm very enthusiastic about this. I think it's another way of differentiating Chapman School of Law in a very tough economy. I believe that Chapman University School of Law offers a tremendous opportunity. We're as good as any there is, and our students, faculty, and staff have shown that. I want to end with a word of thanks to all of you who have helped us in our education mission, and an invitation to those who are finding out about Chapman School of Law to inquire further. You'll like what you see. We're as good as there is. Thank you very much.
For more information, visit our website at www.chapman.edu/law.